In this part, we want to check what is Zustand and why are we using it. In a normal page, sometimes you want to save a variable and every time you change it, you want to re-render the screen. So for that, you use a state or use a state hook. So for example, here we have the email and set email, codecraft counter. For example, if we set the email info@something, then this variable will change and it will trigger a re-render of the whole page. But sometimes we need to have access to this variable in another component. You see, this variable is only accessible inside login page. But if we want to access some variable inside the global state, then we will use a global state. And we have different state manager libraries. We have Redux, we have Mobix, and we have Zustand. For this tutorial, I used Zustand, and I'm telling you how it works, or at least I tell you how I'm using it in our application. For example, we have an error component in our application. And this error component can be visible on any page, but we want to show it based on some conditions. So for example, if the authentication failed, we have an error to show to the user. For example, in the register page, we want to be able to trigger showing this component from register page. So that's why we use Zustand. And how Zustand works, it has a global store. On global store, I can tell you, you can imagine a big object that is accessible by everyone, every component in your application. So, and you can enable the component of your application to read this state and write to it. That's everything you need to know. So in here, error component will read this variable, should show error. If it's true, it try to render to the screen. If it's false, it will not render to the screen. At the same time, other components, we enable them to change this variable. So, for example, if the other component is login page, it can trigger should show error to true. Then this component will be visible. Now let's check the code. First, you see we have a store folder. In a store folder, we have different slices. Each slice have some part of our application logic. Auth slice have the authentication part. Error slice have the error part, and spinner slice have the spinner logic. Let's check error slice. So inside error slice, we have a variable called error message that by default is empty string. We have a show error that by default is false. And we have a function to set these two variables. Now let's check index.js. Inside index, we aggregate all of our slices together and we kind of create a big object that is our store. And now let's see how we use this store. Let's go to error component. Inside error component, we import useValidStore from store. And then we destruct only the parts that we need. We need show error, error message, and set error message. And then we have a function hide dialog that set error message, the first variable to show it to false, and error message to empty string. So it's for hiding the dialog. And when we use it, when user click outside the screen or it click on the OK in the message that we get. So here, if you check on visible, visible is triggered by show error variable. Now let's go to a part that we show this component. If we go to services error handling, you see we show it like this. We have a handle error function that we call anytime any error happens in our application. And then we have some checking on the error. And after that, we set error message to true, and we set the variable that is the error body to the error.message. So for example, we get the error from amplify, we get the error from amplify error body, and we show it to the user. But there is something that you should know. For all this to work, we should have this component in our render screen. So let me show you here. Inside our container in Outflow, we have this container that we render everything inside it. And if you check here, you see error component and you see a spinner component. And then children might be login screen or register screen or code screen. So it means error component exists in all of those screens. And the moment some error happen, that variable show error will become true, and this error component will be visible in the screen. For the spinner component, we have exact same logic. Let's check. We just get the show spinner from the store. We use it here, and then when we want to show the spinner, we get the set spinner command from the store, and we set the spinner to true. And because a spinner component is available in the page that we are rendering it, that triggers showing a spinner on the screen. Let's check a spinner slice also. You see it has only a show spinner and a set spinner that sets that variable. So this is how we use Zustand in our application. If you have any other question, you can always ask in the comments. I will share this diagram in the video description. Thanks for watching.